Hi, my name is Jules, and these are my New Year's resolutions. Hi, welcome to Vegan Quirks, where we talk about veganism, minimalism, environmentalism, animal welfare, and more. It's been a while, but I am starting the new year off strong, I hope, by actually filming, editing, and uploading a video by tomorrow, because today is December 31st. So, for the past 2 years, I guess this will be the third year, I've done a video like this where I talk about my New Year's resolutions. This past year I even did like a mid-year goals because I just took note of how much my life changed over the course of the year. Yeah, this year is kind of the same. I mean, I am going to be telling you things that I want to do over the course of the next year, but in that year I'm going to be moving to a different continent, hopefully, and my lifestyle and my day-to-day is going to change so much that I feel like some things are kind of unreasonable for me to ask myself to keep accountable for. And for that reason, some of my resolutions this year are a little more broad, which can adjust for like short-term goals over the course of the year, and some of them are still specific because I can't not. Yeah, that's just kind of how I am. So I'm kind of gonna talk a little bit about how my last year's resolutions went while I'm talking about my new ones, but I'm not really going to do a thorough overview of like what I did and didn't do last year. I think the main takeaway was that like I got close to a lot of my goals, accomplished some of them, and there were a lot that just didn't happen at all. A lot of them that just couldn't happen again because my life just changed so much over the course of the year when I moved back here that it was kind of crazy, to say the least. So I'm not doing these in any particular order of importance. I'm not doing a 20 resolutions for 2020 because I don't have that many and I just don't care enough to like fake that many. So you're just gonna get what I have, the list that I've written. That's basically it. So some of the goals I'm kind of basing my new goals on are more like my mid-year goals, and some of them are my like first New Year's goals, but I don't remember which ones are which. So YouTube, I had a December goal of posting 3 videos a week, and I did that for 1 week exactly, and then it all went to shit because I was using Ryan's camera, and then something happened to their hard drive, and we can't get anything off of it right now. We're still trying to deal with it. So for now, I can use my phone camera and my editing software on my computer, but I don't have that little animation in the beginning, and I, yeah, have a couple videos that hopefully you guys will see within the next couple weeks, but might be lost in the ether forever, which kind of sucks because they were videos that I worked hard to make. So that being said, I was trying real hard to be better and failed almost immediately. Because honestly, like, just because something was broken doesn't mean I couldn't have just hopped on my camera on my phone and just like made these videos like this. But I got discouraged and I was stressed, and so I didn't do it. My goal for this past year was to make at least 30 videos, which was like a little over once every other week, which meant I didn't have to be good enough to post every week, but I had to be pretty consistent with posting, and I did that. I posted, I believe, 36 videos this year, which is great. And I want to do better because a lot of that, it was pretty spread out, but like I've definitely been more consistent in the last like 2 or 3 months, again minus the last 3 weeks. So I really want to keep that train going. And my goals are loftier this time because I think that I've kind of settled into a groove of actually getting stuff done. So I want to make 70 videos next year. That's more than once a week. It's almost twice a week. But I think I can do it. I hope. And this flows directly into my like other social media goals. I don't have a blogging goal right now. This is something that I keep telling myself I'm gonna do every year, and then I post like 1 to 2 blog posts a year. So right now it's just not in the cards, and I'm not gonna force myself to do something I clearly don't want to do as badly as I think I do. But for Instagram, I discovered that the reason I don't post on Instagram is because I want to post things at the right time, but I need to schedule them. But I didn't know how to schedule posts, and so I found a free website app thing that allows you to schedule Instagram posts, and now I think I'm going to be able to do it. So my goal is to start posting at least weekly through this service where I can spend, an hour once a week figuring out everything I'm going to post for the week. And I'm really excited about that because I think I'm actually going to stay on top of it because I have a lot of photos from a long time ago that I've just never posted, and now's the time. As far as my reading goals go, this is one that's always weird every year. Like last year I was like, I'm gonna listen to this many audiobooks, and I didn't listen to any audiobooks because I don't have audiobook subscriptions because I don't have the money. And so that goal just went out the window. The past 2 years I have failed my goals but done better than I had the previous year with the amount of books I read. So last 2018 I wanted to read 30 books and I read 20 books. 2019 I wanted to read 35 books and I read 25 books. So I'm reading more incrementally each year, but it's still not as much as my personal goal is. And you know what? I'm still gonna up my goal. I don't care. I'm gonna say 40 this year, which means if I get to 30, I'd be happy. As long as I do better than last year, but also I want to have a more substantial goal. But I'm going to grad school in a month, so the amount that I read might change a lot, and by the end of the year I might realize that this was an insane goal. Yeah, sounds like me. So on that note, my next goal is to get a degree. If everything goes well, by this time next year I will have completed, I'm not out of my diploma yet, but I will have completed my master's. Which is crazy to think about, and I can't believe that that's actually potentially true, that I will have a master's degree a year from now. So I'm really excited, and that is a big, big goal, and that's one that I will have incremental steps for, right? I'll have homework, I'll have courses, I'll have exams, I'll have essays to write. But in theory, it's achievable, and that's super awesome. Okay, so the next one is kind of one that I was like, I should do this last year, and then it got worse because, sorry, this is propped up on the bed and Bella jumped on the bed. It's fine. But yeah, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a digital detox last year, and I didn't. And I got a new computer this year, and it's already a mess because I'm not good at keeping my files in places. My phone's kind of a mess. I have too many apps I don't use well enough. My Google Drive, no, you don't even want to know. Even just my notes apps, it's just things where it's 500 to-do lists that I've checked 30% of the things off of. And so I have a really big goal this year of cleaning, organizing, unsubscribing from emails. But on the flip side of that, that's one aspect of a digital detox, but also genuinely being less obsessive about social media. Because honestly, Instagram's not that bad, though. I think that I idle on Instagram. So when I have nothing to do, or when I'm not engaged in something else I'm doing, I half the time just end up on Instagram. And so one thing, literally just this comedy podcast I listen to, If I Were You, for any of you that actually might also know what I'm talking about, they were yeah, I just took Instagram off of my home screen, or I've dedicated myself to not checking stories at all this year. And I think that's amazing. I like Instagram and I'm still gonna use it, but I literally immediately after listening to that took Instagram off my home screen so that it takes more clicks to get there. And I think that because it's something that I do when I'm idling, I probably have something better to do. I want to recognize that, but YouTube is way harder because I spend so much time on YouTube, and I have YouTube in background of things that I do. And I also find a lot of personal value from YouTube in a way that I don't think is true of Instagram. I watch a lot of self-improvement stuff. I watch a lot of I definitely watch a lot of stuff that's on finances and financial literacy, and I think those are important things I don't want to get rid of, but I also think that I can be more mindful about the way I utilize them. again, if my camera's shaking, it's literally just Bella moving. Sorry guys. So all that to say, like, digital everything, I just want to change. I actually think this is something I want to make more videos about. Go figure, the irony of me making YouTube videos about how I want to watch less YouTube. But still, like, I think that, like, something I kind of want to do this year is actually, like, track how I'm achieving things, because, I watch a lot of YouTubers that, like, talk about how they achieve their goals, whether they're financial goals or personal goals or, whatever it is. Like, I like watching Michelle B's, like, admin days. I think they're so interesting to just see, like, what someone does when they're just, like, doing all of the random crap that they've spent a year not doing. And so, yeah, I think that that's hopefully going to be a little bit more of the content I produce this year, is how I'm achieving the goals that I'm setting for myself. The next one is going back to the things I learned on YouTube. I really want to increase my financial literacy. It's something I've worked a lot on in the past year, but I think I'm still not there, and I've still hesitated to do some of the things I know I should be doing for my finances. Going back to the books thing, I think that I'm gonna actually make a reading list for myself, and not that, like, those are the only books I can read, but kind of be like a goals book list, and then, like, at least every other book I read has to be off of that list, because this year, like, and in my life, I'm generally someone who, like, I acquire a book for free somewhere. Like, the people across the street from me now, they, like, just put out books, and it says free books, and they just, like, put them out on this card, and, like, every couple weeks there's just more books. And so, like, that's where I've been getting my books lately. And, like, I used to get my books at the library in the office that I used to live in, I used to work in. It was, like, a tiny, like, it was, like, the teachers that, like, the counselors that I worked with, like, we made up the library, so, like, some of them were my books. But I want to be a little more intentional with what information I'm putting into my brain this year, and I guess that might mean that I have to buy stuff occasionally, but we will see. But yeah, like, I think financial literacy is going to be one of the things that finds its way onto my book list. The next thing, we're getting more abstract, because, like I said, having super specific goals, that's one thing that, like, failed miserably this year if you, like, looked at the, like, numbers on the book. But I also did really well in this year if you look at, like, how I've improved over the year, and that's my, like, body, my physical health, my, like, relationship with food. These are all things that have improved super significantly over the year. But, like, on the books, I said, I'm gonna do yoga this many times a week, I'm gonna dance this many times a week, I'm gonna do strength training this many times a week, which, by the way, would have totaled to working out, like, 12 times a week. So I don't know what I was thinking. So this year I'm not doing specific goals because my routine's gonna change a lot when I move, and I know that, and so there's no way that I can predict what it's gonna be like. And so instead I'm going to go for a feeling, and I'm going to make small goals about setting routines that allow me to feel that way, and set appointments that allow me to feel that way. So I want to feel good. And when it comes to my mind and my body, some of those things include exercise regularly and eat decently healthy food, but also eat cookies when I want to eat cookies. Other things that could fall into that category include physical therapy. I went to a physical therapy appointment today because I have chronic pain and have for the past 10 years and don't do anything about it. And I wanna, like, I don't want to hurt. Like, it's just, yeah, I'm 25 years old. I shouldn't be in this much pain on a daily basis. Wow, that's emotional, apparently. So, sorry, I just got emotional at the fact that, like, I think I deserve to not be in pain, which is, like, I guess a thing that, like, most people should feel about themselves. Yeah, so, like, some of it will mean PT appointments, but it also probably will mean actual therapy, too, because that's another thing that I've been not ticking off the list, that I think everyone should go to therapy, and I don't. Yeah, and so, like, this year is the year of feeling good. And I'm going to be under a lot of stress at school, and so to still prioritize that is going to be a lot. And that's, again, something I want to take you guys on that journey a little bit, show you guys what I'm doing and how I'm failing or not failing. Okay, so that is super broad. Let's go to something a little bit more specific, which is my Chinese goals. Again, I failed them. I spent, this year, I finally got a tutor. Well, technically I think I started working with them last year, but either way, I finally got a tutor and I finally like actually worked hard on my Chinese literacy. I've lost probably a good amount of that because I'm not speaking Chinese regularly, but I am working on Duolingo. Now I go back and forth between like how frequently, like, but usually still it's never been less than like 3 times a week, and I'm back on a like 30-day streak, I think. And so my goal is to finish Chinese Duolingo, which I'm actually not too far away from. That's something I think probably I can get to by, depending how dedicated I am, a quarter to halfway through the year, and read a Chinese book. I'm hoping that in Sydney, because I just haven't bothered to do it here and I'm moving in a month, so like whatever, if I'm being honest. But I'm hoping in Sydney I can find some like language exchange situations, which I know literally from having lived in China for so long and also from having been in Australia for a while. I know there are a lot of Chinese expats living in Australia, and so I know that I'm going to be able to find good language exchange there. And so that is a goal. I'm going to read a Chinese book. I'm going to finish Duolingo. I got this. That's honestly not a hard goal. I just have to not be lazy. The last one, and this is a tough one, and this is related to me going back to school, which is to have more fun and not fall into old bad habits. I spend a lot of time alone, and I know that that's not always good for me, even though I am like totally accepting of the fact that I'm an introvert for the most part. I like my alone time and that's fine, but I also know that I gain value from being with other people and know that I enjoy my time with other people if I allow myself to have it. And by don't fall into bad habits, being in school is one of the times where I'm most likely to isolate myself and stay up late doing homework, sleep isn't one of my goals this year because I've been doing such a good job at sleeping regularly. And if I go back to school and it's the same as it was 4 years ago when I was in school, it was bad. Like, my life was bad. And I don't want to be that way anymore. So my goal is to not approach school the way I did before, not allow myself to procrastinate enough that I'm making myself miserable, and not allow myself to have like the worst habits. Like, maybe I'll eat a little bit less healthfully because I won't have as much time to cook. That's fine. I mean, I love cooking, I'm gonna still make time for it, but like, that's totally fine if I eat out a little bit more because I just don't have time. But if I am having like 4 a.m. full boxes of Oreos, like, that's probably not coming from a place of my own personal like health, and it's probably putting other things before me, right? It's putting like my desire to please, like my desire for self-image about my education coming before my desire to like be good to myself. I want to like school, you know? It's something I used to like, and in college I really got to a point where learning was painful for me. And fuck that. Just fuck it. I have her toy. Yeah, yeah, I can't do that anymore. So the next year is going to be a really different one for me, and I'm hoping you guys get to see me moving and the chaos that is the next year of my life, because it's gonna be, the last year of my life has been super different than the previous 2 years, and then now this year is gonna be super different in a so different way. So good luck to me. I think I need it. Well, I think that is all the juicy information I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed seeing what my New Year's resolutions are. I'd love to hear what your guys' New Year's resolutions are, or at least your biggest ones. I can't wait to show you what I do to try to actually get this shit done. Happy New Year, people.